Good evening, all. This is Eric Emma, the artistic director of the Venus Radio Theater. When we started this fantastic project known as VRT On the Air Presents, it was to present bold new visions of the world. I know many of you have grown fond of Uncle Benny and Nephew Bobby and the rest of the characters at the historical Greenwich Musical Theater, and I swear that they will return. But tonight's production is different. It's the first and only VRT production not to be directed by myself. And so we're thankful for that outside perspective. And so before we begin, I wanted to give a trigger warning for the first story of this double feature. It features content that deals with sexual abuse and eating disorders. Thank you, and with that, I will let the writer-director of this piece take it away.
Hi, my name is Ran Xia, and I'm the author of the 2 pieces of audio drama you're about to hear. I wrote Princess Anybody when I was turning 25 and The Boxer 30, both at a time of distance and isolation, either geographically or emotionally. I hope my stories resonate with you in some small ways. Thanks very much to Venus Radio Theater for presenting my works and the extraordinary collaboration we were able to achieve. I support VRT's mission of giving a platform to writers and producing dynamic works through this evergreen way of audio storytelling. And I hope you might do the same. Enjoy the show.
Play 1. Princess Anybody.
Every year on my birthday, my fairy godmothers would visit
I was an ugly child.
and bring me the best presents.
Except
I've never felt anything like it.
I didn't know it back then.
It's like
It's like
a dull knife
Such a good feeling.
piercing through the middle of my pelvis.
I used to talk to animals to pass the time.
Having all those people around me.
I used to talk to Gus.
Celebrating my life.
I'd talk to him for hours
I
and
got so
hours
many
and hours.
beautiful clothes, really cute shoes, and all my favorite food.
His birthday was in August,
He
so
said that it's normal. Nothing worth whining
The
about.
most magical part? My fairy godmothers would gift me with a virtue, a different one each year, so I could wear it like a badge of honor for the rest of my life.
He looked satisfied.
one day he disappeared. I think he ran away because he couldn't stand the sight of me.
I got the virtue of beauty when I was very little, and on my 14th birthday, chastity.
He looked satisfied.
Daddy owns a bakery in the southwest corner of our town. It's the best bakery ever, and customers from all over the place would come.
When I
and-
turned 16, I got the virtue of obedience from the most powerful of my fairy godmothers. Everyone said that it's the best gift of all, and now that I've gotten it, I'm on my way to become a true...
They come for my daddy's famous apple pie.
It's so close. I can see his skin.
He used to, when he got home from work, Daddy would hand me a chocolate truffle.
I see a layer of sweat on his skin.
Or a freshly baked cookie, or sometimes he'd save a piece of apple pie.
I see a layer of grease on his skin and a triangular-shaped birthmark on his left shoulder.
Apple pie is my favorite food in the entire world.
I see his pores.
He used to call me his little...
He calls me his little...
Everyone says, Aurore, you're born to be a... Everyone says, Aurore, you needn't worry about a single thing. Everyone says, Aurore, your whole life had been planned out ahead of you since the day you were born, and it is a perfect life. The best music teacher was appointed for me.
He called me...
Am I going to be a musician, fairy godmother?
It's not my name. It's just some name he called me with.
I don't remember my, I guess, real mom.
Ariel.
She died when I was a baby.
The best art teacher was appointed for me.
Daddy showed me a picture of her.
Am I going to be a painter, fairy
She
godmother?
had a plain face. She had a nice smile and curly hair.
The best science teacher was appointed for me.
It's a good enough name. Ariel.
Am I going to be a scientist, fairy godmother? The best language teacher was appointed for me. Are we moving to France, fairy godmother?
Daddy told me that I looked like my birth mother.
I guess it could be my name.
When I'm good, my parents are so happy.
I blame her every day for not being beautiful.
My parents always say that they are so proud of me.
I wish Daddy lied to me instead.
Especially when I did well on my exams.
Parents lie to their kids all the time to make them feel
He
better.
looked satisfied.
When I was 15, Daddy remarried. My stepmother was the most beautiful anyone's ever seen, and I know that because it's what everyone said. I try not to bother her. She's always very busy. Beautiful people usually
There's
are.
blood. I can feel it.
She said that it's a full-time job maintaining his appearance.
I always did well on my exams.
Dripping down between my thighs. I bit my lower lip and I clenched my fist so tight that my fingernails were digging into my palms.
And I didn't think about boys. When my parents take their afternoon tea with other parents, they always told everyone with a glint of pride in their eyes, "Our Aurore is smart. Such a sensible girl. She knows that she needs no decoration other than her virtues. She is our only child, the apple of our eyes, our crowning achievement, and our legacy when we pass. And we're not worried about her, because she'll always be a proper..." We know that she'll always be a proper...
My stepmother says a mirror is a best friend. She has this magnificent mirror in her bedroom. I've only seen it once. It's oval, the mirror. It has a cherry wood frame, which is ornamented with the most intricate designs. Speckles of emeralds form patterns like constellations. She gets specialists to polish her mirror every year. She also wears those gorgeous and form-fitting dresses made of silk with threads of silver and gold, which always flattered her perfect figure. She was almost 50 when Daddy married her, but her skin glows like that of a young girl.
I thought I was gonna black out from down there. And then he said,
He was my riding instructor.
I hated mirrors. They exaggerate all my worst qualities.
After our first lesson, Mom asked me how it was.
I wish I had straight hair instead of curly, like the hair and shampoo commercials.
and then he said,
I blushed and I said it was all right.
He said,
I liked it. And Mom said good. And I said I didn't feel so good and locked myself in my bedroom.
he said, you're...
I was suddenly worried. Did I look good in my riding boots?
I wish I could get a tan.
Why did I wear that purple shirt? Do I look good in purple?
Instead of just a nasty, painful, itchy, ugly burn.
You said you're beautiful.
I wish I had freckles like the other girls. Freckles are fashionable this year.
Like a...
You're beautiful like a... I wish someone would tell me that. I really wish I had freckles.
One day, he asked me if I'd go to the movies with him that evening. Yes. When does it start? 8, 8:15? Until when? I don't know, 10? Maybe later? Oh.
I wish my nose were bigger.
It's past my curfew. I'm going to ask my parents first. Is that okay?
I wish my nose were smaller.
I did say no, but...
I asked my parents if I could come home late that evening.
I wish my mouth were bigger. I wish I was taller. Maybe 1 inch taller and it'd be good.
I'll take the train home straight away afterwards. I'll be okay. I'll be safe.
I didn't say no when he ripped my clothes off.
No, it's too dangerous for to take the train alone at
I
night.
thought maybe that's just the way it is.
I'm almost... No!
I didn't say no when he thrust me to the
on the train
ground.
at night. You could
I
get
didn't
raped
say
in
no.
some dark alley. Who's going to
I
protect you?
didn't say no when
How
he...
can you be so cruel to your parents, Aurore? We love you more than anyone in this world.
I wanted to.
We love you more than anyone in this world.
No! But then...
But then I did grow taller. Too much taller.
But then...
I didn't go out. But the dinner was so good that
I thought
evening.
maybe that's just the way it
was
is.
Friday, and on Fridays we have, it's my favorite, we have soupe de poisson à la rouille with a glass of rosé.
Now I wish I could be shorter. 1 inch shorter and it'd be good.
My parents always make the best choices for me.
I told my stepmother that all my dresses are too small for me now because I've grown so much taller and that I needed bigger dresses.
But I did say no when he...
The next day, a different riding instructor came.
But it's a petite zero.
What happened to...
All the... Wear that size. It's got nothing to do with your height, Snow. Just lose some weight and you'll be fine.
I said no, please stop.
Lose some weight, Snow, then maybe you'd look like a proper...
It's too painful. Stop. Stop.
My new instructor, she had very thin lips, which made her mouth almost look like a straight line when she pursed her lips. She put my legs and hands and shoulders in all the most appropriate positions.
It's a responsibility to be beautiful and thin. Beautiful and thin. They are synonyms. Pay attention, Snow.
I wondered what happened.
Covered my mouth with
You don't have a pretty face, Pity,
one
but if you're
hand.
thin, your face can be as plain as day and you can still be considered beautiful. Are you listening, Snow?
Tried to push him away, but he's so
Don't
much
eat anything at night, no matter how hungry you are.
stronger.
Don't eat anything sweet. Sugar makes you fat. Don't eat any carb.
I thought
it
I
turns
was-
into sugar, and sugar makes you fat, remember?
I was gonna bleed to death.
There's a beautiful orchard a few miles north of our house. The most powerful of my fairy godmothers lives on the other side of the orchard. I was never allowed to wander alone across the orchard. My parents told me that all the criminals and drug addicts hang out in there, and prostitutes. They'll snatch you up and make you one of them too. You wouldn't want that, would you, Aurore?
I stood up.
I got scared and never went near the orchard at all. Not until today.
When Daddy gets home from work, he still hands me sweets and cookies and different kinds of pastries wrapped in colorful papers.
There's
I said I don't like them anymore.
blood trickling down my inner thighs.
Today, Aurore is
I'm
going
going
to
to
I still take Daddy's apple pies and hide them in my room. I told him I'd eat them in my room. I put them in pretty little boxes and bury them in the garden. You make the best apple pies in the world, Daddy.
There's blood on my knees.
I take my pocket knife
on my ankles.
and my handkerchief and some money just in case. My parents always said that you've got to have cash on you no matter where you go.
between my toes.
And I go towards the orchard.
If you're hungry, drink some water and go back to sleep.
I'm going to find the most powerful of my fairy godmothers.
Do not eat meat. If you have to eat meat, chew very, very slowly and then spit it out.
I'm going to find her and ask her to take the virtue of obedience away from me.
He's asleep on his stomach, with his face turned to the side. He snored.
I don't want to be anymore. I want to be I want to be.
I had a dream. In my dream, I was having dinner, and what a perfect meal. I had soup and lamb chops with rosemary and garlic, and for dessert, a beautiful slice of apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top. I was savoring everything with not a care in the world, and suddenly my stepmother's mirror appeared in front of my dinner table. I heard someone laughing behind me, and I started to puke out everything.
I want to be.
Everything.
He looked
I want to be.
satisfied.
I woke up with a cold sweat on
I
my
don't
back.
know what I want.
I felt my rib cage with my fingers.
He looked satisfied.
I don't know what I want to
It's
be.
only a dream. Oh, my God.
I turned 15 a few days ago.
It's only a small orchard. I thought it'd take me days to cross it.
My stomach was growling, but that's okay. All my dresses fit me now. I stood in front of the mirror and I felt so happy that I was getting dizzy.
My sisters asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said I wanted to go on a trip on my own to a city by the ocean. So for the first time, I left the little village where I grew up with my 11 older sisters.
The apples are so beautiful in our orchard this year.
Yellow, green, and red apples are everywhere on the trees. Some fell on the ground.
Daddy brought back barrels of yellow, green, and red
Red
apples. Red apples
my
are my
favorite.
favorite.
I pick one out.
Daddy picked one out and handed it to me.
I've never seen apples as beautiful
For the
as these.
first time.
I've never tasted apples as sweet as
I
these.
saw the
I take my
ocean.
knife out so I could cut the apples into smaller
And I
pieces.
saw-
And Daddy called me his dear little and said, have a taste. You're never going to find an apple as sweet. Here it is. Look, I kept it in my pocket.
He said that when I danced, he felt like he's engulfed in flames. He said that he wanted
That's
me.
the only way eats her apples, in tiny little pieces.
Well, it's sweet, isn't it? So it's got sugar in it. Is it a carb then?
Does it mean you love me?
No, I can't. It's past dinner time.
Does it mean you want to?
I'm trying to peel the red
He
skin off.
said, shut up. You're now.
I've never done it myself before. The maids always took care of
I
that.
tried to dance in silence, but I felt like I had been ripped inside out, and every step I took felt like stepping on
The
sharp
sharp blade
blades.
touches my skin.
I swam into the ocean.
Maybe I'll just take a little bite.
The warm water kept me afloat.
One tiny little one.
Oh,
So I went on. until I'm one with the foams upon the waves.
I've heard other stories. A lot of other. In different languages, different voices. A lot of them are similar. They sound similar. And, well, after a while, I guess I stopped paying attention. What am I supposed to do? It is not my job. I can't. Sorry. Yes. I've been there. I've been there. Yes. Sometimes I imagine what I would have done differently if I was you. I was you. So I'll listen. I'll be strong for you. I'll be here. I'll listen. I'll listen. I'll listen.
Play 2. The Boxer.
October 17th. Almost make it out the door. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Up the stairs. 11 steps. Up the stairs. Floorboard creaking. 7 steps to the door. Get to the door. Open the door. Creaking. Squeaking. Slam the door shut. Go back inside and stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Like a loser. And cry. Like a fucking loser. Until my stomach starts growling, growling, growling. Click on the delivery app. Reorder. Express reorder. Sit by the door. Wait. 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 Open the door. Creaking, squeaking, plastic bag rustling. Like wind through the leaves. Nod thanks. Hold my breath. Till the delivery man is gone. Slam the door shut. Sit by the door. Eat by the door. There's an app for food delivery. Thank God for that. There is an app for grocery delivery. There's an app for laundry pickup. There's an app for direct deposit. An app for watching trash TV, for watching the news, for watching porn. Leave the trash by the door. Remember to recycle. It's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. 21. Last time was 48. On day 49, step outside. Drive straight to Starbucks, order the most complicated, most hipster latte on the chalkboard, strike up a conversation with the barista. Yeah, it's been a while. That's me. You have a really good memory. Have a nice day yourself. I was fine for a while. I was normal. Everything was goddamn normal until she showed up. 81 unread messages, 19 missed calls, all from her. 2 voicemails. The first one, she said, the second one, she said nothing in the second one. Breathing. I heard her breathing. And then I heard a joke once. A kangaroo walks into a bar and tells the bartender, blood is the lipstick of all wounds. Blood is the lipstick of all wounds. The bartender doesn't really know what to say to that. It's a terrible joke. I wouldn't know what to say to that. I'm staying at my parents' house, my dad's house. He doesn't live here anymore. My mom hasn't lived here. Nobody in my family has lived here since, I don't remember. I wasn't gonna tell you about my family, so I'm not gonna tell you about my family. Not gonna tell you about my family. There were good years. I remember a cookie tin full of treasures. Acorns, a stack of old stamps, and souvenir coins from a pizza joint in Connecticut. A cocoon. I like that word. Cocoon. Sounds funny when you say it fast. And cocoon. Of a caterpillar, completely dried up. I found it. A toy Dalmatian from a Happy Meal. Green Ranger from a Happy Meal. I stole that from my brother. And other toys. Toys I never played with. Not more than once. A loose piece of a jigsaw puzzle. A runaway from the pack. It's his fault that the picture will never be completed now. And that one had the tip of a wing. Of a small bird. I never liked puzzles. I could never stay still for an extended period of time picking up clues. I got restless. I was always restless when I was little. I got overwhelmed by my own shadow when I was little. I still do. But I was never afraid of the dark. When you turn off the lights, the shadows disappear. You see better in the dark. A toy telescope in the cookie tin. My first telescope. I looked through it and pretended that I wasn't just seeing a crack in the wall or an old stain. I could see the big bear and the little bear. I could see Lady Andromeda. Alone. In chains. Waiting for her sea monster. I want to show you a family video. One of the only. Here it is. The family video. Can you see it? A kid climbing out of a second-story window. A little girl, messy pigtails, green shirt, jean shorts. Can you see it? She's climbing out into the big sugar maple tree just outside of the window. Oh, she fell. Oh, she's caught between the branches. She's okay. She's screaming and laughing and screaming and screaming. And I was crying because I thought she must be hurt. But she's okay. She barely scratched herself. My sister was always the badass of the family. It's true. Always getting into trouble, always getting into accidents, getting cuts and bruises, 2 permanently skinned knees. Always gets back up, though. She gets back up and she is ready for the next adventure. As if she's forgotten the pain. First rule of boxing, you'll get punched in the face. You gotta be okay with that. Get up if you fall. You get up when you fall. Get up. You gotta be okay with bleeding, with bruising, broken skin, broken nose, skinned knees, skinned elbows. Get up. Walk it off. Wash up and walk it off. Walk it off. Walk it off. Get up! I'm 6 years old. Mom wakes me up. It's the middle of the night. It's summer. A cool, clear night. Put your jacket on. Where are we going? Shh, quiet now. Where are we going, Mom? Tie your shoelaces. Remember? 2 bunny ears, over and under and tug. Come on now. Shh. We climb into a car. Where are we going, Mom? We're going on a trip. Why? Where are we going? It's your early birthday present. My birthday's not until next month. What about... She holds me, and I fall asleep. We're at the train station. We sit at the train station and wait for the first morning departure. The sky turns white, and then rosy, and then blue, blue, blue. I turn my head away from the window. We're at the airport, and it starts to rain. The sky turns gray and violent. The flight's delayed. Where are we going, Mom? You'll see. How much longer do we have to wait? Not much longer now. Mom buys me an ice cream cone. Mint chocolate chip. She never buys me ice cream. Says it's bad for my teeth. It's the first time I want a plane. Wow. Wow. I remember reading somewhere. It says, it's always sunny if you go high enough. The sky is blue. Blue, blue. Above a blanket of clouds. It's a little more than 7 hours from Burlington to Vegas, and Mom dials the watch back because we have just traveled back in time. We're sitting in a diner. We sit at the counter and get burgers and fries. There's an old man sitting next to us, stabbing his fork into a piece of pie. Crumbs are sticking on his mess of a beard. Mom whispers to me, "It's not polite to stare." He puts down the fork. The old man does. He leans back in his chair, turns to me, and says to me, "This is the last time you'll see me. So take a good look. Take a real good look." I think about people I've seen for the last time. You don't realize. Most of the time, you don't realize that it's the last time until maybe 20 years later. Something catches the corner of your eye and you remember a particular moment, and you barely remember whom it was you're missing. But sometimes you do know. Some people pass you by and you take a solid look at them and you know you're not supposed to see them again. Let's call her E. We could have been friends in a different life. I'm not supposed to see her again. She's supposed to be a one-off. Like one of those characters you see in a TV show who shows up for one episode and that is it. Doesn't matter how big. Brad Pitt in Friends, for example, that sort of thing. They stay in that one episode, maybe 2, 3 at the most, an arc, but that's it. They don't journey through the whole season or accompany you till the end of the story. And they don't seem important. Not at the time. It doesn't mean they're not. What? It's not her fault. She says that in the voicemail. She says, "I wish we didn't have to meet again. I wish we were meeting again under very different circumstances." She doesn't want to see me either. Hands up, elbows in, knees bent, feet apart, heels lifted, body relaxed. Front foot forward, back foot 45 degrees out, in position. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. We live in a motel, and then the basement of an old friend of Mom's. And then we move into an apartment above a pawn shop. The guy who runs the shop, let's call him H. H has a glass eye. He really likes to poke it out to scare me with it, and I pretend to be scared. H can only hear in his left ear. H wears a dog tag around his neck. H has a tattoo on his right arm of a bulldog, and around it some blurry words that I can't decipher. H has a crush on Mom. I know this because his best friend from way back when visits and says, Since when do you drink tea? H is always around. He says he hasn't taken a vacation, hasn't crossed state lines since, H is always around. My best friend from middle school, let's also call her E, she moved to the Netherlands with her parents in 9th grade. She came back once to visit relatives, to attend her great-uncle's funeral. I was in college. We sat in the same diner where we used to share milkshakes when we were 13. She was different. And I knew then that was the last time I was going to see her. My best friend in high school, let's call him P. He was popular. He played guitar. He roller skated to school every morning. He was star of every school play. He had good enough grades so that teachers turned a blind eye when he slept through class. He wrote a lot of my essays, and I let him copy my math and physics homework. So our friendship was, it was convenient. It made sense. And I was happy to be the sidekick, even though he never considered me to be one, a sidekick. I was happy to attract less attention, to be less cool, a little more awkward, more neurotic. I met my first girlfriend because of P. Let's call her L. I had seen the way that L looked at P when we first met. I've seen the way lots of girls looked at him. P and his many girlfriends. We were never allowed to talk about them, his girlfriends. We talked about everything else. Or maybe we just talked about nothing of importance. Everyone thought P was going to be homecoming king that year, except he didn't show up. And the next day we found out on the news that some lunatic had shot up a bar, the only gay bar in town, and we all recognized. We all saw. Nobody knew. Not even his parents. I didn't know. I didn't know. Upward snap. Missed. Duck. Right cross. Missed. Block. Block. Uppercut. Uppercut. Block. 1-2. Shoe shine. Block. Down and out. Down and out. I'm 14 years old. I've just spent every last penny I have. I've been saving up for as long as I can remember, and now I have my very own telescope. A real telescope. I remember when H first got it into the shop. How much? You can't afford it. I have money. How much? Tell you what. You pay me all the money you have by the time you turn 14. Deal? Deal. It's my 14th birthday. I hand him my treasure trove that is a shoebox. It's yours now. I'm holding my telescope like when Hamlet was holding Yorick's skull. P played Hamlet in 10th grade. I played Guildenstern. Or was it Rosencrantz? I think about that play sometimes. I think the tragedy was kind of over for Hamlet when he knew he was going to die. But for Horatio, the tragedy had just begun. Mom hands me an envelope the next day. What's this? H gave me your shoebox. I opened a bank account for you. You can take care of yourself now. H lets me drive his Jeep. He rolls down the window and blows smoke out of it. He offers me one, and I take it. I try it and cough for an hour. He laughs. We don't talk. We get to the top of a foothill and set up the telescope, and I look for Andromeda. I ask for another cigarette. We smoke quietly. We go home. I broke up with Elle after the finals. She looked relieved. And I knew that's the last time I was going to see her. The last time I saw Mom. It's hard to say. I don't remember. At least I don't know if there's a moment. A last moment. Across the breakfast table, maybe, in the kitchen. Or maybe it's nighttime and I get up to piss and she's still up, sitting on the couch, reading, or just sitting on the couch. I remember the moment I realized she was gone. I was 18 years old. I come home, a little pot of succulents on the windowsill is dead. I knew. I stay in the apartment for a week, like a hawk guarding a nest. I get a text from H on day 7. You want a beer? So we sit on the roof, drink, talk about the weather, talk about there's a fire across town, but luckily nobody was home. We don't talk about Mom. And the next day I go back to college. Nothing's wrong. Toss the succulent in the trash. Nothing's out of sorts. Breathe. Boom, boom. Breathe. Boom, boom. Breathe. Anticipate their moves. Duck. Back up. Back up. Back up into a corner. The bell rings. Hydrate between rounds. Time stands still between rounds. We meet at a concert. Let's call her C. I sat behind her in the 3rd grade, but she doesn't remember. Or maybe she does. I pretend I don't remember her either. And we walk all the way back to her place. And we kiss goodbye. And then we don't say goodbye. I am 24 years old. And I don't tell her it's my first. I walk out of Z's apartment building. And it's sunny. It's sunny. The sky is blue, blue, blue. And my phone rings. Vibrates. I wait for it to stop. It rings again. Hello? I want to show you another family video. Different one. Can you see it? A little boy. You see? He's sitting on the porch, holding a bright red sugar maple leaf. Holding it up close. He's reading it, as if the secrets of the universe were written on it, hidden somewhere between the midrib and the veins. Hello? How did you find me? No, of course. Of course I remember you. I listen. I listen in astonishment to the voice that is my brother. For the first time in... It's been what? 17 years? I know. How's Dad? Oh. We FaceTime on the weekends. He's not the quiet, weird little kid anymore. You're not the quiet, weird little kid anymore. You look... Yeah, I look like Dad? I know. Except I don't remember what Dad looked like. Not really. Not clearly. If I saw my brother on the street, I probably wouldn't recognize him. Although... No. I wouldn't recognize him. He's been busy, trying to track down our family. Can't seem to stick together, our family. Yeah, we're all over the place, literally, scattered, across the whole country, the whole world. I don't know. Hey, where did Mom go? Did she say anything? She didn't tell you anything? No. She's just gone, I guess. Again. Listen, I'm moving to the East Coast soon. Maybe I'll come up for a weekend and we'll catch up. I'm 26 years old. I go to Disney World for the first time and buy myself an ice cream sandwich shaped like Mickey. It's my birthday today. Really? You know what? Have another one. On the house. I stand in line for Space Mountain and finish both of my ice cream sandwiches. And I remember the taste of that mint chocolate chip cone my mother bought me when I was 6 years old. Listen, this week, this month has been crazy, but I'll come up soon. And we'll catch up. H comes to visit. Getting married. In the fall, he is. The bride's folks are here in Jacksonville, so H gets on a plane for the first time in decades. We have lunch at the canteen. I take a personal day and we drive to the coast. You don't have to come back. Probably can't. Sorry. Don't be. It's good to see you. I'm happy for you. You too. I'm happy for you. Living the dream. Definitely. Definitely. I'm 28 years old. I clock in at 8:35 every morning. I clock out at 6:35 every evening. I start to take boxing lessons on Sunday mornings. Otherwise, I stay in most weekends and cook my lunch for the week. My life is regular. My life has a comforting regularity. I like to believe that my job has a little something to do with the advancement of humanity. Whether or not my personal contribution is making a big splash, I used to think about making a big splash, making an impact. H and I used to get excited about meteor showers. Well, I used to get excited about meteor showers, and H used to come along because H was H. It is always a glorious sight. Space junk making big, beautiful splashes as they disintegrate into nothingness. What a glorious sight. Unlike the celestial ensemble that actually holds power in our galaxy and in galaxies we've yet to discover. Or I think about the consistency of constellations, like they're there, if you know where to look. Like Andromeda, the lady in chains. I can always find her, still alone, waiting for her sea monster. Before H left, he gave me an envelope. Your mom left them with me for safekeeping. Inside, a couple of keys and a note that says, the bulky one is for the front door. The little silver one is for the garage. The gold one with the round top is for the back door. The gold one with the square top is for the master bedroom. What am I supposed to do with these? Beats me. I get a text from my brother. It's a picture of a rocky shore with stacks of jagged stones strewn about the riverbank. What am I looking at? These are called Sisyphus stones. The bedrock along Hudson is Manhattan schist. When it's sunny, there is a special sort of glint. Stoic, silent stone people. Sisyphus stones. They don't look exactly steady. Oh, no, they don't last. They tend to get toppled over pretty soon. That's disappointing. No. Yeah, we just rebuild them. You just rebuilt them? Exactly. But how would you know if you've done it the way they were? You don't. That's kind of the point. There was once a Corinthian king who cheated death by putting Thanatos himself in chains. Some say he did it by lying to Persephone, which was, by all accounts, unwise, because the queen of the underworld is well known for not taking that kind of bullshit well. So, Sisyphus was sent to Tartarus. His punishment sounds pretty mild at first. All he's got to do is roll this giant boulder uphill, except every time he gets there. Every time he sets the boulder in place, it rolls down again. Back to square one, back to square one, back to square one, and he's got to do it all over again. All over again, all over again. Eternal frustration. A punishment that befits a king, don't you think? If anyone would understand a hollow pursuit like that, it'd be a king. Eternal frustration. Eternity. How do you measure it? Eternity. High in the north, in a land called Svithjod, that means Sweden, by the way, there stands a rock, 100 miles high and 100 miles wide. Once every 1,000 years, a little bird comes to sharpen its beak on this rock. And when the rock has thus been worn away, then a single day of eternity will have gone by. Huh, that's wild. Did you just come up with that? I got it at Strand for $1. The Story of Mankind, Hendrik Willem von Loon. Any good? Well, it passes the time. Every time he pushes that rock uphill, all the way up, there must be something different. The time of day, the time of year. New leaves bursting from the branches of a tree he hasn't noticed before, or chance encounters with different creatures. Maybe I'm being too optimistic about what a hill in Tartarus looks like. Or maybe it's the rock that's different each time. A little bit gets chipped away each time, little by little, until finally it's smoothed to the touch, and you start to see the inside. Its loads and veins. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Is that from a book again? That's Camus. You nerd. Runs in the family. Touché. I'm driving up Route 1. The temperature is going down, down, down as I'm going up Route 1, all the way from Florida to Arlington, Vermont, in a brand new Dodge Challenger. The guy at the rental place gives me the key as if presenting a rare treasure. The look on his face says, "You don't know how lucky you are." Well, you have anything not as, conspicuous? What about that one? Oh, that piece of shit? Will probably break down, not gonna lie. I mean, if you really want it. Should have used an app for renting cars. Using an app for directions, I'm using an app for entertainment en route. I turn up the volume and listen to Matt Haig's How to Be Human on Audible. It's about an alien learning to be human. There's a list of advice in the end. He ends up making a list of advice for humans. Number 87. Dark matter is needed to hold galaxies together. Your mind is a galaxy. More dark than light. But the light makes it worthwhile. Don't kill yourself. And number 88. Even when the darkness is total, always know that life is not still. Time is space. You are moving through that galaxy. Wait for the stars. I'm 30 years old. I'm turning 30 years old in a few months. Is that the age where you're supposed to have figured out what you want to do with your life? I call my brother somewhere between Baltimore and Philadelphia. Can I crash at your place? Well, I'm about 2 hours away. Here's another bad joke. This one is about boxing. A fighter was taking a beating. When the bell rang, he staggered to his corner, and the manager says to him, "Let him hit you from the left for a little while. Your face is looking all crooked." Here's another one. Did you hear about the boxing referee who used to work at a space rocket launching site? Every time a fighter got knocked down, he started to count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2... How do you know when you've arrived somewhere? I spot the George Washington Bridge from miles away. The air seems to thicken. There's about 3 feet of dirty snow along either side of the street. I drive up Broadway and make a right at 184. I spot my brother at the entrance of the parking garage, a silhouette under rows of fluorescent light. I remember the first thing I said to him. No, I don't. I remember the first thing he said to me. "I brought you a coat." And I put on a winter coat for the first time since I was 6 years old. How do you know when you've arrived somewhere? When you dress as the locals do? We take the train downtown, get out at 125th to wait for a crosstown bus. We stand in a cluster of tired-looking people for 20 minutes. My teeth start to chatter. He turns to me, looking apologetic. It could be faster to walk. So we do. Manhattan is smaller than you'd imagine. It's getting dark. We walk for 30 minutes. Stop for some of those famous dollar slices I've heard so much about. 10 more minutes to his apartment building and then up to 5R.
Wi-Fi password is shearwater127, all lower cases. Oh, but the E's are 3s.
Are you sure it's okay for me to...
Of course. Do you want a beer? I only have PBR. Oh, or there's a tea.
I drink peppermint tea out of the Jack Skellington mug, and we talk. We try to figure out things to talk about. People, places, things, and avoid talking about certain people, certain places, certain things. How do you hang out with someone you feel so close to, yet know absolutely nothing about? Here's a list of things my brother and I have in common. 1, we both hate corn, which makes it pretty tricky because 2, we both love Mexican food. 3, we both have been to a Baths concert in Vegas and New York, respectively. 4, neither of us can whistle, to our chagrin. 5, neither of us can roller skate, either. 6, we both have, at one point, dressed up as Cthulhu on Halloween, except the costume wasn't good enough for anyone to figure out what it was. 7, we're both allergic to mangoes, and there are more, but here is a list of things that says my brother and I are very different people. 1, I don't drink coffee. He can't live without it. 2, I'm a decent cook, or at least I enjoy cooking. He makes ham and cheese sandwiches every day. 3, he's a polyglot. I'm not. 4, we don't look very much like brothers. I take after Mom. We have the same nose, the same hair, and I don't remember what Dad looked like. 5, he likes team sports. He plays basketball with his colleagues. I much prefer flying solo, which makes sense because 6, he's more of a dog person. I'm definitely more of a cat person. I guess none of those things really matter.
It is a miracle we both turned out this well adjusted.
Kinda.
It's good to have you here.
It's good to be here. I'm using an app to check the weather. Using an app to look up touristy spots around town because might as well. And I'm using a dating app. I type in passing through for a couple days. Looking for dry conversations and witty wine. I lie on a fold-out futon and listen to the steam pipes croak until exhaustion takes over. I stay in New York for 2 weeks and leave with more luggage than when I left Florida, where I lived for 5 years. I decide to book a flight instead. Do you want to come along? See the old house?
What for?
Reminisce.
Some of us like our jobs. No offense.
None taken.
What? You scared to go alone? Ghosts aren't real.
Ghosts aren't real. We still talk. We try to keep each other informed of things, leave out bits that are too hard to spill or too hard to swallow. He always calls. On Sunday mornings. He's seeing someone, finally. He seems happy. And he seems a little sad. I try not to ask questions. And then we don't talk as much. Only on birthdays. My birthday and important holidays. And then not at all. I remember our last conversation we were talking about. Nah. I don't remember what we were talking about. October 18th. Up the stairs. 11 steps up the stairs, floorboards creaking, 7 steps to the door. Get to the door, open the door, creaking, squeaking, slam the door shut. This is a routine. But today, it's different. Today, I try again. Open the door, creaking, squeaking, slam the door shut. Again! Open the door, creaking, squeaking. Keep it open. Keep it open. Keep it open. The leaves are red and gold on the sugar maple trees. I haven't been in a boxing match. A real boxing match. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready to be punched in the face. If you're not ready to be punched in the face, you're not ready for a real boxing match. I don't know if I'll ever be ready. I've never been in a fight. Never yelled at another car. Never written a negative Yelp review. Whenever there's a confrontation, I run the other way. H used to say, be a coward. Cowards live longer. When I get angry, I put on my headphones and I play loud music and I go for a run. And when I get really, really angry, I put on my headphones and I play loud music and I go for a longer run. E looks the same. Almost exactly the same as I remember. I want to say something, stuff like, it's good to see you again, despite the circumstances, or you look well. Or she says, can we go outside? I need a smoke. We walk a respectable distance from the hospital and we stop. She looks tired in broad daylight. And I start to feel a little softer. She lights up a cigarette. You were trying to quit. She says, I still am. She says, I have to leave. She says, you know I have to leave. I understand how you feel. She says, no, you don't. And she's right. I don't. We walk back together. I hold my breath as we take the elevator up, and the smell of antiseptic becomes more and more overwhelming. Reminds me of childhood. She says, you'll have to make the decision. Immediate family. I couldn't find anybody else. What am I supposed to do? She says, well, she doesn't say anything. We walk down the long hallway. I feel sick. Room 1206. She walks in, picks up her purse, puts on her coat. I linger at the door. I feel sick. I want to run the other way. She says, are you coming in? I feel sick. She says, what? Do you need me to hold your hand? I take one step in, and the next. I sit on the side of my brother's hospital bed. I stare out the window at the square of the autumn sky that's blue, blue, blue. And she says, okay then. He's asleep. She says, yeah, most days. Yes. She looks at me. And I know that this is the last time I'm going to see her. And we smile at each other. Because... what are you thinking about? I know you can hear me. Can you? Hear me? I'll stay a while. I'll stay a while. I'll be here. I'll stay right 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 here.
These stories were written, directed, and co-edited by Ran Xia. Princess Anybody starred Olivia Rose Baressi, Charlotte Arnoux, Macy Lanceta, and Thea McCarten. The Boxer was performed entirely by Kilgore. Produced and co-edited by Eric Emma. Sound design by Adrian Bridges. Music in Princess Anybody performed by Annie Legacy and Emily Johnson. This was a Venus Radio Theater production. Please like or follow us on social media and your preferred streaming platform.